Yo, 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 what is up, guys? What is up? We are finally here. Hope you can hear me okay. Let me see. Yes, I think we are good. Let me know. Throw like a one or some shit in the chat or just say, yeah, you can hear me. So I'm not talking to myself. But what's up, man? What is up, fellas? What is going on out there in the YouTube space? I hope you guys are good. I know I saw you in there. Yeah, E, what up, E? What up, Maddie? The bright side of doing a evening stream is I figured Maddie would be around, and of course E because E functions better at night, right? E. But yeah, it's cool that you fellas are here. I will honestly, this is probably isn't gonna be that long of a stream, because we've kind of talked about the matches as we've gone along the past couple of weeks, but we need to make the predictions official. So we are here to set them in stone. Unfortunately, I will not be doing a watch along. I will be traveling this weekend. I'll be in Virginia, visiting some friends. So I will be occupied with that. I'm not even gonna be able to watch WrestleMania until Tuesday on the flight back, and then maybe Tuesday evening, and then I'll be off Wednesday. So I'll definitely be doing a stream sometime on Wednesday, probably later in the afternoon. So yeah, sadly, I will not be doing a watch along. And it's crazy because I feel like the past 2 years now, some shit that I've been doing has fell on WrestleMania weekend. So I need them to move it back to like mid March, mid to end March. Even the beginning of April will be okay, but for whatever reason, man, like as April goes on, I just get busy with shit. So it is what it is though. But I just wanted to make sure that was out there because I normally love doing watch alongs with you guys. So we won't be able to do that. But like I said, we'll be doing a live stream probably sometime Wednesday afternoon. I want to say like maybe like 3, 4, 5 ish range, but I don't want to commit to anything yet because who the fuck knows. But yeah. Maddie said, yo, you do what I did, cut my hair. Yeah, dude, yeah, I actually just cut it today's Thursday, Tuesday night. Just got the shower, so it's kind of messed up right now. But yeah, dude, once it gets long enough to where like the hair starts touching the top of my ears, it drives me nuts. I can't function like that. So got to get it done. But yeah, I just do it myself. I throw a mirror in the back of the door, one of those little handheld mirrors, and just go to town. Use that mirror and obviously the mirror in the front on the wall. Get it done. Takes like, well, depending on how long it's gone, but like 30 minutes or so. Not bad at all. And it saves, I don't even know how much money. So there's that, but we're not here to talk about hair. But yeah, dude. Yeah. So I love shaving. Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's such a great feeling too. Shaving it off, it's like starting fresh. But but yeah. Say hi to your mumsy out there. E, I hope you're enjoying your festivities. But like I said, we're gonna get right into it. But thank you for everyone who is watching on YouTube, Twitch. I appreciate you guys. And who watches on replay because all my shit is random. So there's that. But I appreciate everyone who watches later and those comments on there later. Definitely helps out a lot. So appreciate you guys. I am getting the card moved over. Oh, and if you're watching on YouTube, I threw a poll in the chat on what is your main event because a lot of people are saying that they're more excited for Obafemi and Brock, which man, I can't even be mad at you if that's what your option was and that's what you chose. Femi, man, I guess we'll just start with that because that's going to be the opener. Well, that's the opener on night 2. We can't start with that because that's just completely out of order. So I'll say my thoughts on Femi, but man, so I can't fault you if that's your main event. For me though, I'm still, I guess it's probably a tie then. That match and obviously Punk and Roman for me, which is, a given because Punk is my guy, and we'll obviously dig into that a little bit more once we get to the main event. But man, like, I'm trying to probably Orton and Rhodes storyline wise, but we'll get into all that because if I start now, we'll just be all over the place. But yeah, so if you are on, all I have to say, if you are watching on YouTube, feel free to answer the chat question. I would love to gauge where you guys are at. I think right now, let me pull it up. Yeah, right now we're at, damn. Right now we're at Roman and Punk 71%, 29% for Oba and Brock, and no votes for Cody and Orton. So I think that tells you right there what the overall consensus is of the story, which is so fucking sad. So again, I'm gonna bite my tongue and not get into that yet. Thankfully, that one's not too far away. But also, too, what do you think about 13 matches being on the card? So it's weird that there's a uneven number, especially, well, obviously since it's 2 nights. That tells me there's going to be a seventh added on there, or something is going to happen on night 2 where it's going to eat a lot of time. Potentially something. I just had this. Well, I had a feeling before, but now with Danhausen referencing Cena this past Monday, I believe it was, it's a given, man, that Danhausen and Cena are gonna have some type of interaction. But I don't see that taking up a substantial amount of time where it would have to take the place of a match. Because you gotta imagine, I mean, I guess maybe depending on how you feel about or what direction you think Femi and Lesnar's gonna be, because that's the speculation with that one too. Is it gonna be like a quick squash for either one going over, or is it gonna be a 5-10 minute match? Some people were saying like 12-15. I'm like, there's no way that they're gonna do a 12 to 15 minute match. Those two guys, there's just no way. Nothing against them. That's not them. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna hold off again, but so I just the excitement level varies, I think, with what your feelings are. But like I said, I think the poll right there answers a lot of questions. The lack of hype for, well, not lack of hype, but the monstrosity that is the build of Rhodes and Orton. But yeah, but to wrap it up, the match order, or the match count rather, I just feel like they're gonna throw something else on there, and I was hopeful, man, for like Io Sky and Asuka. Don't think that's gonna happen now, because I just right now we are, what, it's Wednesday, so we have SmackDown left. Don't really see much happening on SmackDown addition wise to the card. Maybe there's something I'm not thinking about, but I don't know, man. Like I get the word on the street, right? Is that it's a hold up on, who is it, Nikki or Brie, that has the ankle injury, and if they're gonna be able to be added to the match, which I just think it's just crazy, man. And then that's like the hold up on Io and Asuka or whatever. It's just wild, because pretty certain, I'm gonna pull it up here. I'm thinking about it and talking about it. That on when they did the promotional posters a few months ago now for the men and the women, when they were all sitting at that, what was it, like a poker table or some shit, that, or a blackjack table, whatever table, they had Io in the poster for the women. I'm gonna pull that up, because it's just fucked. Like, how are you gonna not have her on the card? I don't get that, man. I'm gonna pull it up really quick. Yep, there it is. Yeah, sitting right beside Jade on the end. So I don't know. It was the commercial. I don't know. I just don't know. And I mean, looking at it, Tiffany Stratton is on there too, and I don't believe, correct me if I'm wrong, she has a match on the card either. Yeah, no. So I don't know, man. I don't really know what they're doing with Io. It's really frustrating. I'm not gonna blow a gasket right now, but it's just kind of disrespectful, man. Like the banger matches that they had, that Io, Rhea, you name it, that Io's involved in, and Michael Cole sits out there almost weekly, and at least at one point recently was saying how Io Sky is one of the best professional wrestlers in the world, just period. And for a WWE commentator to say something like that, it's a big deal, you know? And So for him to say that, they believe it, and they're aware of it, right? Which is a positive, because a lot of times they're oblivious to what's right in front of you. See Daniel Bryan, but the fact she doesn't have a match, man, it's just I don't know why it bugs me as much as it does, to be honest with you. But yeah, so with the whole 6 and 7 match count, I'm like, something's gonna happen on night 2 where they're going to either A, need to eat up time, or B, they're going to throw a additional match on there. And looking at it, I guess maybe the ladder match, the 6-way or 6-pack ladder match, maybe they'll go 30, 35-ish minutes. You gotta imagine, I mean, it's fucking Roman Reigns. That match is gonna go 40 plus minutes. If maybe not the match time itself, but I would say the match probably around 28, 29, around that range. And then, I mean, fucking Roman Reigns, he should probably start his entrance now so he can make it out there by the time his match starts. So, and I don't know, I have a feeling that either A, Punk will get a live performance of Cult of Personality, or B, he'll have some type of throwback music. It's something with the entrances. I just have a funny feeling about, at least for Punk. And I'm gonna bite my tongue again on predictions, but time wise, that's what I'm saying. So okay, that eats up an hour right there, a little over an hour. Then you have your packages in between. Again, I don't think Femi and Lesnar are gonna go fucking 15, 20 minutes. So, and definitely not Jade and Rhea. That's probably gonna go 10 minutes, maybe 10, 12 minutes. Yeah, so I don't know where they're gonna end. Shit, I am not advocating for them to have a 4+ hour card just to have it. So if they start at what, 7, 8 o'clock, and you go through and you end up having like a 3.5 hour show, bravo. Don't throw matches on there just to have it. But if you have an obvious glare on your card, that being Io Sky not being involved, and Asuka for that reason too, man. Asuka's like fucking beast, man. Like, I don't know, like it's kind of wild to me, but just my 2 cents. But yeah, oh, what up, Sean? What up? What up? Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. You said thanks for all your podcasts and your thoughts, man. Thank you, man. Where I know you're dipping out, but where are you going to be popping up at this week, Sean? Because I know you're going to be out there hitting podcast row, if you will. So you're going to be on prowrestling.net or PW Torch? What are you doing? And if you listen to replay, Sean, throw it in the comments so we can I can throw it out there. Maddie, you're the legend, my guy. You are the legend. I still said dude, bro, Maddie, you said I still spent out. We are saying it's WrestleMania 42. We getting older, dude. I was watching a completely unrelated show to wrestling last night and on YouTube, and it finished. And the next show that queued, because it's my algorithm, was WrestleMania 25. And not only was it WrestleMania 25, but it was Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. And I had to sit there and watch it, obviously. That match is just fucking amazing. But when I realized, because at first, like, obviously, I know what number it is, but I was, just involved in the match. And then there was a spot when they showed the apron, had the big star and everything. Beautiful logo and layout too. So props to them for that one. And set design, just beautiful. But reading WrestleMania 25, I was like, Jesus, bro, we're on 42 right now. That was almost 20 years ago. Like, what? Like, it blows my mind, man. And when I sat there and thought about that, I was just like, oof, 20, oh my gosh. But yeah, hell yeah, man. Oh, you have his papers. Oh, shit. Right on. Right on. And to be honest with you, I've never been a big paper fan. I go the leaf route, if you catch my drift. But I have found a couple of paper items, that have hit very well, I'll just say. So there's that. It's probably just me because like I can't prepare it to save my life. So there's probably that. At least the papers. The Leafs got you all day. But yeah, I don't know. So it's probably me. But and the people I was with at the time because it was just they weren't good at the papers. But yeah, man. Hey, bro. You're watching someone 15 and 17? Nice. Nice. But yeah, let me get to the card because I'll be here all night. Just fucking around with you guys. That's how easily I get distracted. But it's good company, right? But yeah, so we will continue on with the card. So obviously we're gonna start with night one, which man, so close to 420. April 18th and 19th. Raw After Mania will be the 20th, so celebrate as you will. Now this is not the official match order, obviously besides the main event. Because to be honest with you, I would imagine, or maybe it is. So let me take a look. Hold on. I think they actually did announce the two opening matchups. So yeah, so the two opening matchups we have on night one, we have the Vision. Of course, that's Logan Paul and Austin Theory with I Show Speed facing off against the Usos and LA Knight. And then the second matchup is Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. And then we know the first two for night two as well, which we'll get to. I mean, this one obviously isn't going to take too much time, but I am curious to see with the direction with that they seem to be going in for Backlash with the celebrity angles. I have a weird and a sticky feeling that I Show Speed, as much as I don't even want to say it. To be fair though, I fucks with Speed, so the character, YouTube, not the drug, okay? Just to be safe, because YouTube's fucking ridiculous. But Speed is at first, because I'm out of the loop with everything, I didn't really know who the dude was. And then what video was it? I saw one of his one of his thousands, right? But he had some video within the past year that went viral. I think when he went to like Africa or something, or I don't know, but it was some crazy shit that he did. China. Well, I saw the Africa one too, but that was the first one in China, and people were like, "Oh, he's like bringing the U.S. and China together, or whatever." But I was like, "Wow, this dude's pretty cool." 21 years old too, like fucking wild. And he said, like, I don't know if you guys, I don't know, like if you guys fucks with him, but I saw something that like he reportedly gives his brother like a $500,000 allowance a month or some shit. If that's true, just I can't even imagine. Cannot even imagine. But yeah, he's apparently been doing training. So I'm wondering if he is going to get the upset victory over LA Knight, because the story, right, has been that he has had bad luck, which has benefited the Vision, but it's really fucked with him, right? So that's, it cost the Usos the tag titles, fucked with LA Knight. And I think they said the video with him and LA Knight, when LA Knight like infiltrated his room or whatever and threw him into the webcam, I think he did. I didn't see the video, but I think someone has said like it got like 480 million views or some shit, which is just insane. Like just fucking insane. But I have a weird feeling that Speed is gonna get the victory, maybe like a fluke victory, or someone from maybe like Logan Paul clocks Knight with the knuckles and then throws I Show Speed. I feel nervous, keep saying Speed, but I Show onto Knight to get the victory. That obviously will infuriate LA Knight, and they run it back next month at Backlash in a singles match, which sounds crazy, but if they have access to iShow and he is enjoying what he's doing, I could see him not being the next Logan Paul, but I could see him sticking around for a while and kind of being in and out a little bit more, kind of like Jelly Roll, but more active in the ring. Again, not saying that's a good thing either, but being a little bit more active. And plus, like I said, the dude is hella young, so the sky's the limit, literally, for him. Like, did you see how easily he jumped over? Who was it? fuck, who did he jump over? But he jumped over someone, and was it Adam Pierce who was standing in the aisleway on Monday? I forget. But he just leaped over the dude and got right in the ring. It's like, bro, I twisted my knee just watching you. Like, get out of here. But yeah, so I'm going with and again, disclaimer, don't place any bets on my picks because you will in fact lose that money unless they have some boost where if you lose your first bet you get like a sick refund or a sick credit, then by all means. But if not, don't don't take my word for money. So there's that. Because I think in some lands, Matt, I don't know about you, or Maddie, I don't know about you, but because I know in the UK that they can bet on wrestling, so which is wild. I wish we could, and I think somewhere in some places in the US too, because I think I saw Fightful post something about that in the past, but I digress. Next up, we have Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. This one, man, as much as it pains me to say it, I think you gotta go with Fatu, with Jacob taking the W. I think this is gonna be honestly like a low key sleeper of the weekend match wise. I think that they both are gonna want to go out there and just fucking tear each other apart. I mean, the story itself kind of leads to that with them going back and forth and everything, but just their characters, man. Like, I always want to call it Jacob, but the Wolverine, but he's the werewolf. He's just obviously like the dude. Just I don't want to call him crazy. He's just what's like I don't know, a loose cannon, I guess. And McIntyre, man, he's pissed off for every reason under the sun. So he wants to go out there and prove a point. So, but I'm not expecting anything like crazy out of this match. Pretty much the same type of like Falls Count Anywhere, whatever type of matches that we get. But man, like I think this is still going to be a fun match. I think this is going to be that one that goes out in the crowd, and there's going to be like some like crazy setup. Like maybe they'll both go through like maybe some because you have to have your Slim Jim tables, right? So of course at some point they'll go through tables, but then those big like speakers and like those big like audio like black box things that they have out there with all the cables and shit. I feel like they're gonna like some shit's gonna happen around them, and they're gonna go sparks and all that shit. So that's why I was kind of surprised it wasn't a last man standing match. I feel like that would fit this match, but or this this match and this feud, but unsanctioned is fine too. But it kind of when you think about it, and it's just my brain, but it's interesting that WWE would or not even advertise, but they would have one of the first two matches that are in the first hour streaming on either ESPN or ESPN2. It's an unsanctioned match, which technically they're not supposed to back, right? Technically the company is supposed to have, wipe their hands clean of it. It's unsanctioned. So it's just funny that let me, you guys get hooked on a match that we're not sponsoring. Like what? But yeah, so I feel like a broken record, but as much or as often as I say, I wish Drew would be getting the victory here, Jacob needs it more in this situation. And I was thinking about it earlier, and it's not even that I wish Drew was still in the title picture, because to be honest with you, man, if it was gonna be like a fatal four or a triple threat or whatever between Drew, Cody, and Randy, and they were going to do this bullshit with McAfee, keep Drew out. It's bad enough. It's one of the main events of Mania. Cody's involved in it. It's the championship, right? But again, we'll get into that shit momentarily. But yeah. So if I'm Drew, I'm like, yeah, man, I wish I was still the champion, but fuck, I dodged that crazy ass bullet. So would be too bad. And still getting a nice payday. It is what it is. You're on early, so you get to enjoy the rest of the fucking weekend. To be honest with you, because going on early on a Saturday night, you got the whole weekend ahead. I mean, he still has to be there, right? But work-wise, you're done. So good for him. Next, we have Stephanie Vaquer going in as our women's world champion on Raw, defending against Liv Morgan. And I will I don't know if I said it on here, but I definitely have said it to some, friends in real life. But I will eat some crow on this one, man. I was down, or not necessarily even down, but I was like, man, like, what story are they really gonna do with Liv and Stephanie? Yes, it could and most likely would be a good match, but what is really gonna be like the driving factor? Liv is so tied up with Judgment Day, and Stephanie, man, like this again, if you go back months ago, this is why I didn't want Stephanie to win the title so soon. Again, they had to do what they had to do with uh, Naomi having to relinquish because of the pregnancy and all that good stuff. But I still don't think that they needed to put it on Becker. So I will die on that hill. And it's not her fault, man. It's just the booking, and she has shit music. I fucking hate that music. So they just need to revamp her at this point, not appearance wise or gimmick wise or anything like that, but music and direction. I think she would make a solid Intercontinental Champion. So officially, my pick here is Liv will beat Stephanie Vaquer and win the championship. Before I move on to Stephanie again, or continue on with Stephanie, fucking shout out to Liv Morgan, man. Y'all see that baseball that's on her forehead? I, yo, I can't even imagine. That shit was like my hacky sack. Like, fucking, just like sticking off of her forehead, bro. What the fuck? And like, disgusting, but like, what would happen if that shit popped, man? Like, with pus? Ugh, disgusting. Ugh, I don't want to think about it. But thankfully, she doesn't have a concussion. Thankfully, Roxanne Perez is okay too. But damn, Liv Morgan is a trooper. And I really enjoyed the Psycho Liv that we got on Monday. I don't know if she's gonna keep in that direction. It was off the rails, so I you can't be that crazy every week. But man, it was dope seeing that side of her. I was befuddled when we were watching the music video because I was like, what? Like, is this a? I don't want to be mean, but at first I was like, is this a joke? Because we saw like a tease of it on Twitter, and I was like, is this like a Liv to Dominic type of like movie or some shit? But then once I realized it was like, oh, it's like Liv, like the person, or I guess the character performed and like made her own song, and apparently it's on like the Billboard or some shit. So hey, good for her. Shout out to her. But yeah, I just for Stephanie, I just think if you free her of the weight of carrying the division, really, before she was really able to, and again, nothing against her in ring wise, because in ring wise, she's probably one of the best, but character wise, with just tenure on the roster, they're lucky people took to her so quickly and so well, right? Because just look at what's going on with Julia on SmackDown, the complete opposite. Maybe Julia gets added to the SmackDown card because she's the only one who doesn't have the only singles champion who doesn't have a match on the card. So maybe they add her on because SmackDown is obviously the last match or the last show that we have before Mania weekend. So maybe she will be part of the last match added. I don't know, but man, shit. At this point, just give us Julia and Asuka. Julia, Asuka, and Io. Can you imagine that triple threat? And I don't, I bitch about not having a story, all that stuff, but at this point, if those three are involved, you're not really taking my money, but take my money. You know what I mean? But yeah. So again, I think I feel Liv should pick up the W here. Liv is doing a fantastic job, in my opinion, and honestly, I could see her. Well, I don't know how long has Naomi been out. I don't see. Again, don't want her to rush back because enjoy your kid. Take all the time off that you need. But because I was just gonna say, like, I could see her maybe holding on to it until Naomi comes back, because when she comes back, she's gonna be a good guy. Like there's just no way people are gonna boo her. Maybe eventually, but not right off the bat. But that might end up being too long. So maybe Liv can face, she can start feuding again with Rhea. I don't know. That's not even a problem for right now. But with Stephanie, because then earlier I was thinking, like, what would you do following up with Stephanie? So I think I got that answer. And it actually ties in well with the next match, maybe, on the card, which is AJ Lee, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, facing off and defending against Becky Lee. I almost called her Becky Lee. Becky Lynch. This one, man, so when you think about it, if I'm not mistaken, every matchup that AJ Lee and Becky have had against each other, AJ has picked up the victory. So, and at this point, they've pretty much told the story that they can tell with each other. Do you really want Becky to lose, what, 3-4 times now to AJ Lee? And man, like, I was not a big, but I dug AJ Lee, right? Back in the day. I was excited for her to return. I'm just be around more, like, again, same thing with what I've said with Roman. Like, if it was me and I could get that schedule all day, right? But character wise, it's like, man, like, I just really want her to be on TV more so we can just react to her character more and get established more, if that makes sense. Like, of course, like, those who've been watching for years are good with her, but like, a lot of the newer fans probably have no idea who she is. So, and you can only go so long with saying, I'm your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. Like, okay, cool. Like, what does that mean to me? Like, I don't know. So, I think it's time. So, I think AJ Lee loses the championship here to Becky Lynch, whether it's clean, Becky does some crazy, or not crazy shit, but some fuck shit or whatever, then whatever. But I just think it's time for AJ Lee to not relinquish, but to drop the title. And I honestly would be fine with Becky winning clean. I think it's not going to kill AJ. Becky has done enough in this feud, right? And it sets up Becky as a strong champion going forward, who can then defend and start a feud with Stephanie Vaquer. Because, like I was saying, Stephanie, you want an immediate follow up for Stephanie. Maybe, give her a week off or whatever. But I think it'd be pretty hot for Becky to be talking shit on Raw, saying she's the best Intercontinental Champion. She has beaten everyone. She has no more opponents, whatever. And then Stephanie comes out. So I think you can have fun with that. And I think Becky would be a great opponent to help get Stephanie over more and dialogue more and hold more of the dialogue too. So I just think there's a lot of positives coming out of both of those decisions, really. It frees up Stephanie, like I said, to go with Becky. It sets a new direction for the women's division, competitor-wise, for Liv, because now you have a bad guy at the top, right? AJ Lee, I mean, it depends on when she's going to be back, right? But yeah, I could see maybe AJ Lee coming back for Money in the Bank. And I hope she doesn't win it, but I could see her coming back for Money in the Bank. I don't even know where Money in the Bank is going to be, but yeah, because I don't even, let me see really quick, because I wonder if that's a stadium show this year. Oh, it's in New Orleans? Okay. So Money in the Bank is September 6th. Why do I feel like that's so late? Wasn't that shit in like May, June, July at one point? Yeah, so September 6th in New Orleans. Damn, that's tempting. That's very tempting. I have to ponder on that. But yeah, and honestly, when you think about it, so she would lose at WrestleMania, so it's April, May, June, July, August. Well, it's 5 months. That's a long time to be out. So I don't know. It's not really that big of a deal, but yeah. So I think AJ would be good with losing the title. Cool, she came back, had a little run. She's, she wet her feet. She got reps out, so she's good, right? On to the next. And the next for this is the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, your women's tag team champions, defending against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, and the Bella Twins, potentially. Again, this one, it's kind of like the tag division, man, is kind of like all over the place. But I will say, I've said it before, what they have done with Charlotte and Alexa. I thought that they were going to be done for a while, but obviously not. But I feel like this is Bayley and Lyra's time. Again, I'm still not sold on Lyra. I don't know what it is, man. I'll say it every time just to, where credit is credit, credit is due, whatever. She's great in the ring, right? No issue there. I think she'd be probably like a really great trainer too. But I don't know, man. I just can't connect with her. The woo thing and the entrance just really grinds my gears. And I don't know, man. She just kind of feels like too much of a try-hard babyface character-wise, right? Like, not the human being, but like, it just feels like her character is just like one of those that like is trying to get you to like her too much. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, just kind of rubs me the wrong way. But I feel like they need to win more so for Bayley than Lyra. And I think, honestly, I think it would help Lyra's character too, because she's been all about getting Bayley in a WrestleMania match and making sure like she gets her respect and all that shit. So my official pick is them winning the titles. Although I did think about if they wanted to shake things up, which they never do anymore. But I was thinking about, man, like this would be a good opportunity if you really want to like pack a punch and do something fun. Have Lyra turn on Bayley. Have it where everyone, like all the other teams are down and it looks like the prime moment for Bayley to hit the Bayley to belly. She hits it. She's going to pin whoever, at that point. Get the 1-2, and then all of a sudden Lyra comes in, breaks it up. Bayley's heartbroken. Maybe, I don't know, they both get thrown out of the ring, and then someone else comes in, maybe Nia or Lash, probably Lash, and scoops up the victory really quick, and they scurry out, right? And then the story that you have going forward is Bayley and Lyra. So there is that option. I don't think they're going to do that, though. That's just me maybe wanting to just not. It's just me, just not being I don't even want to say not being a fan because it's not even that. It's just not connecting with Lyra really, and just wanting to maybe do something different. But I don't see them wanting to do that. And honestly, it's probably not even time to do that yet. Again, it's just me. But yeah, so, and that's why with the Bella Twins, I'm like, why are we so stressed about making sure they're in the match? Because like I don't think they're gonna win. Like, no disrespect, like cool that you're back and everything, but I would actually kind of be like bummed if they won the match, to be honest with you, because I don't know. Like, yeah, like you're obviously like a legit team, twins and all that shit, but I don't know. Like, at least be back and have a couple matches under your belt as a team before you just get the titles. I don't know. And I don't know, like, say the same shit about AJ Lee, right? Like, how many matches does she have? What was it, like one? And she got an IC title match, so again, I get it, and it's not that big of a deal, but it's just me being picky. You know what I mean? But yeah, so officially, like I said, I had Bayley and Lyra winning this one, but I would be pleasantly surprised if Lyra turned on Bayley. But I wouldn't even hate it if Nia and Lash retained, because I dig them as a team. I think that some people don't agree, which is cool. Let me know what you guys think, though. But I think having Lash paired up with Nia Jax has been a positive. It's allowed her to have a nice transition from NXT to the main roster, to where she's not a singles wrestler and having all that pressure just solely on her, having to carry promo segments, matches, and stuff like that. So it seems like, to me, it seems like a good fitting and a good team. So I don't see what do they say? Like, don't break what's not, or don't fix what's not, don't fix what's not broken or some shit. Definitely don't break what's not broken. But yeah. So if you're not gonna put the titles on Bailey and Lyra, then I don't see why change hands at all. So, but if you're not gonna change hands either, do something fun, man. Like shake shit up. But I always say that shit, and they never do. So I'm not holding my breath. But yeah. Next match, and again, I don't think I was wrong about this one, but I will admit my doubts have been rectified, and that is with Seth Rollins versus Gunther. And again, which is why it's so fucking frustrating with the build to the main event that we'll be getting to here in a second. Because wrestling can be so simple, man. Like, you just need a simple story. You just need a bad guy and a good guy. History is preferable, right? But if not, the story can just be, yo, like I'm the best. I want to be the best. I am the best. And you've been running your mouth for, what do you say, months, years at this point, saying you're the best, and you're not. And I'm here to prove to you that you're not. So square up, brother. That's it. And Gunther got a +1 out of it by having Paul Heyman owe him a favor, which, I mean, it's got to be obvious that that favor is going to be a match with Brock, which, again, sign me up for that one. Most likely it's going to be in Minneapolis, SummerSlam, which I don't think it's going to be. I think even at one point I probably said it with the direction they were going with Gunther, right? But I hope it doesn't mean that Brock is going to retire, because, again, all the outside shit to the side, when he's invested and he believes in some shit, dude, like, it's amazing, like, the power that Lesnar has by getting someone else over, right? Without even having a match yet. So, again, we're going to be getting to that one in a second here too, but I say all that to say Gunther has to win this match against Rollins. It's not going to hurt Rollins at all if he loses this match, because honestly, the way I see it, because put some thought into this earlier today, the way I see it is Rollins, especially with them acknowledging the favor, right, that Gunther has, or that Paul Heyman is going to owe Gunther. So, again, pretty obvious, like I just said, involving Lesnar. But Paul Heyman is also obviously tied with the Vision. That's how Seth is tied with Paul. But also who's in the Vision is Braun Breaker, who apparently is cleared. So Breaker, if he is cleared, I'm assuming is going to be in the Vegas area, because a lot of talent, even if they aren't on the card or whatever, they still go to WrestleMania weekend, right? And what did Matt Cardona say? Always stay ready. Like, he had posted something, was it last week, that he wasn't booked for the show last week, so I think he wasn't gonna go or some shit. But he went anyway and brought his gear and all that shit, and he ended up being involved in a segment in a match, I think. So yeah, man, you just never know. But where's it go? Oh, so that being said, if Braun Breaker is ready, it's easy victory right there, right? Easy out, which I hate that we advocate for interferences, right? and fuck finishes, but it could be one of those situations where not even the ref being down, but Heyman distracting the referee, like one of those where Heyman's on the apron, referee is standing right in front of the, on the inside of the ring, of the ropes, yelling at him, get off, all that shit. Seth is looking at them, going like that, like yelling at him and all that shit. Braun Breaker comes in. Seth hears Breaker, or like hears something going on in the ring, turns around, and Breaker spews the fuck out of him. Just demolishes him, like just separates him. And Gunther picks him up, puts him in the sleeper hold, done. Gets a victory for Gunther, so you mark that box. Seth is pissed. They both get their Mania match, right? So, blah, blah. Seth is pissed at Heyman. Obviously, he's going to be pissed at Braun Breaker. That sets up their match at Backlash. And you go from there. Gunther's going to get his favor, which he can cash in later on. Everyone technically isn't happy, but all boxes are checked, right? All problems are solved. So, yeah, I can't imagine what it would look like if Rollins beat Gunther. Like and again, I'm not a big Rollins fan, but I dig Rollins, man. Like I have a lot of respect for him, like just being the workhorse of Raw for how many years now. So props to him, man. So I just I can't see him beating Gunther. That would just be blasphemy. But now we are here to the main event. Cody Rhodes are undisputed, which should be disputed because there's two champions, but are undisputed WWE champion facing and defending against Randy Orton with Pat McAfee, of course. I talked about this, what was it, last week already? So I'm not going to beat a dead horse. But McAfee did come back out, and what was it, last week? And responded to Punk. I don't even want to get into it because I don't have time and it's gonna make me so mad. Said Punk had 283 items on WWE Shop and all that shit. And he said that, I'm like, dude, like, what are you wearing? You know, like, what shirt are you wearing? But I digress. Which I know is part of the hypocrisy, but whatever. And his big surprise, his big reveal was that he linked up and called the official sponsor or partner, because Snickers is one of them. So Ram is whatever, either the sponsor, partner, whatever, of WrestleMania, and asked them if they would cover 25% of the tickets for the fans. And I'm like, okay, so McAfee shits on the fans. He shits on the wrestling business. He shits on Cody as our champion. In his promo, in the same promo, he is also shitting on Night 2, saying you don't, like, don't worry about buying tickets to that ass show or whatever. So shitting on Night 2 of WrestleMania, which is technically like the WrestleMania, so whatever. But then he does a really nice thing for everyone and discounts the tickets 25%. Like, if I'm in the crowd, I'm like, cool, thanks, man. Like, if I was looking to go to Vegas, if I'm in the Vegas area, I'm like, thanks, bro. But like, I thought I'm supposed to be mad at you, right? Like, this whole thing is supposed to get me to not like you. So like, why would you give me a discount on tickets? Like, I don't know, it just makes no sense to me, man. Not to mention, like, it took fucking Orton forever to get out there, and he didn't even get out there. He was shown on the screen. With Jelly Roll, right? Well, I mean later on, but like beating up Jelly Roll. So not only do we have Pat McAfee involved, we still have Jelly Roll involved, which I know Jelly Roll is going to make some type of appearance in the main event. Maybe he goes out there and, God forbid, saves Cody. And I don't know. It's just, I do know where we're going with this. It's going to be Cody and Jelly Roll against Randy and Pat McAfee at Backlash, which is another reason I am not enticed to go to Backlash anymore. But with it being in Tampa, it would be like 2 hours away or some shit. Maybe I'll change my mind, but not right now, man. But just the thought of Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee doesn't even have to be them. It could be any other wrestlers, right? Any other celebrities, doesn't matter. The fact that Rhodes and Orton have all these other bullshit detours and factors involved in their story, and like the character of Randy is like so tight with Pat and going along with it, and like it says, I don't know, it's just really cringe, and it just really deflated me on my excitement for that match. Like, and again, and not even again, but I don't know also why they find it necessary to fuck with Cody each year. Why can't you just have a straightforward story and build like you did with him finishing the story? It's like everything after Mania 40 is just, I don't know. It's like we're in a different world now. So I don't know what's going on there. And it makes me sad because I remember when Cody first, like when he first left AEW, and when the speculation always, he's got to be going back to WWE. It was just a matter of when is it going to debut at WrestleMania and all this stuff. It's like, man, if he is going to come back to WWE, like all the matches that you think of, Orton being one of the top ones, history alone, and it's like, God, man, it's so easy. It's like seeing someone have a layup and then they go out, and instead of taking the layup, they go out to hit a half court shot and they just fucking tank it. And it's like, my dude, you had the opportunity to hit a layup, easy points, and you take it back out, make it more difficult on yourself. You have all these defenders now, and then now you just gotta chuck up the ball, and it's not gonna go in unless you're Steph Curry. So it's like, what do you? Why would you do that? So I know Cody's got to be frustrated. I hope Randy is frustrated as well. His character's doing a great job playing along, right? But I would imagine Randy and Cody, the real guys back there, they're just fucking pissed, probably, but maybe they're even a little bit deflated too, because you just had all this hope and excitement knowing what this feud was going to be, especially with Randy turning. Now, again, whether people are actually going to cheer or boo Randy is one thing or another. That's not, it doesn't even really matter. But the story going along with it would have really helped with that also. So I don't know why they decided to, well, I guess we all know why they decided to inject Pat McAfee. I don't know if you guys saw, but Pat had taken the title and brought it to his studio, and apparently Danhausen has said that it was not Cody Rhodes. It was like a CGI, so it was not Cody Rhodes. But someone looking like Cody Rhodes broke into the Thunderdome Pat McAfee has and like vandalized, like took a baseball bat and like destroyed like a picture, I think, of him and Randy, of Pat and Randy, and took the title back. So that was kind of funny. I will give them that. And again, like I've said this before, like it's not Pat. It could have been anyone who was injected in this. And one of the reasons was like, oh, like Pat is going to do great at promoting this. It's going to be all he talks about this week, especially like Thursday, Friday, maybe even Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday going into it. He's going to do all these interviews and everything. And it's like, yeah, but he was doing that shit last year too. And the year before. Like at WrestleMania 40, he did his fucking show at the Access thing. So like, I don't like, what you thought he just wasn't gonna do it this year? Like, I don't know. I don't know, dude. And him, like, what Ari Emanuel wanted to make him the next Sylvester Stallone or some shit. It's like laughable. Like, how did you become a billionaire again, dude? Like, how with that mindset? Like, what? Okay, maybe that's why I'm not a billionaire. Maybe that's it. Maybe we've discovered the real issue. But yeah, that is night one. We're wrapping it up there. Oh, I didn't get my official prediction though for the main event. How can you do that? Because I was bitching about it. But my official pick is Randy Orton wins. It's kind of been that from the beginning. Pat McAfee doesn't change this. If anything, McAfee's saying he'll leave professional wrestling for good if Randy loses. Just kind of solidifies that even more. So, because if especially like if we did all this shit for nothing, for Cody just to retain and for Randy to not win 15, I would be even more outraged, probably. So TBD on that. But yeah, so my pick has been Orton from the beginning. Hasn't changed. I hope though after the match, Randy, he's celebrating with the title. He's happy, dabbing it up with Pat and all that good shit. And then out of nowhere hits him with an RKO. I don't think we're going to get that because we have to have the tag team match, right, at Backlash. But I wish Randy would just be like, yeah, bro, I was using you type shit. You know what I mean? Which, again, would not fix anything at all. Well, not anything. It wouldn't fix everything, but it would fix the issue going forward. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that either. Getting on to fun things, though. Night 2 and the opener, which we were talking about earlier, which is Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. Brother. As I was saying earlier, Femi, man, the promo that he did on Monday, I was hooked, bro. He's one of those guys that just commands the room, dude. Like, I've never met him in person, but even just being, like, seeing him on TV, like, you stop what you're doing and you listen and you watch, you know? Like, everyone there was hooked on him. Like, everyone, people are already doing his little, thing down to the ring, so I don't know, man. That it thing, right, that they all talk about, he he has it, as cliche as that is, but it's just so fun to see someone like this, his size, his strength, be put over as a beast, but not in the sense of like a Braun Strowman, right? Where he goes out there, and no disrespect to Strowman because he was very athletic, but in the sense that where his main thing is like power, right? Like going out there and flipping over cars and ambulances and shit like that. Like, no, like this dude, it's obvious he's badass and I'm sure he could flip over that shit, but that's not what he needs. Like, he almost like a weird hybrid of like Goldberg and oh my god, who was I just talking about? Oh my god. I forget who I was just talking about, but like someone out there like Strowman, who can go out there like Goldberg in the sense of when he was first starting off, dude, just fucking crushing everyone and just like squash matches. So you have that believability, but he can go out there and have a pretty decent length match. And again, we don't have too much under our belt with him history wise, match wise, but what we do have already is enough. And Heyman, props to Heyman. I loved his line where he was like, when you lose to Lesnar, like I'll be your advocate and like I'll help like polish you back up or whatever. Like get him pretty much like primed and ready to truly be the next beast. And I was like, yo, like that what Heyman just did there was A, put over Femi as this beast, but B, advocated for his client still. And isn't he's not worried that Lesnar's gonna lose to Femi, but he personally is scared of Femi, right? So Heyman is just so good at what he does. So my pick though is you gotta go Femi. I don't want to hear or entertain none of that bullshit where, oh, well, Lesnar, it could be a good 5-10 minute match, maybe 10-12 minute match, back and forth, but Lesnar gets the upper hand or Paul Heyman gets involved or some dumb shit like that. And they run it back maybe at Backlash or maybe that's the SummerSlam match. And Obafemi gets his like return victory or whatever. I first of all, I hate 50-50 shit. Like, no, like be bold. Like there's a winner and a loser, dude. Like there's been plenty of Super Bowls, NBA championships where in series where one team is dominant and it's pretty much a no-brainer, and then they go into the final game, whatever the championship, pick your sport, and they tank or they just look like a completely different team, so I don't know. I think you have something special here with Femi and the reaction that he's getting, especially that vibe on Monday, man. You need to strike while this iron is hot. And I was thinking on, do I want it to be like he goes out there and just demolishes Lesnar, kind of like what Goldberg did, in like, what was it, like 90 seconds or something? That obviously would be like a what the fuck type thing, especially with this being one of the matches that's going to be on the first hour of ESPN. with the familiarity of Lesnar on that network, but you I almost want to like have an opportunity for Femi to really shine, and have all those eyes on him, have him be able to go out there and get some time under his belt too. So I don't know. I don't match wise, like I really don't know what I want to see. I just want to see it. And this is probably like my second favorite match on the whole weekend. So officially I'm gonna go Oba because I don't see them being that dumb to fuck up a good thing that they have right here. And especially with what we've been seeing with Lesnar, how giving Lesnar has been to Femi. So I would be shocked, dude. I honestly would be shocked if Lesnar beat Oba. So my only real question is what kind of match is it gonna be? Like what does it look like? So yeah. Oh, Dogtown, what up, dude? What up, what up? Oh, dude. Oh, Maddie, how far are you from the Perth area? You said you missed out on the recent Perth shows. What up, Dogtown? What up? What up? Spark them if you got them. Yeah, Dogtown, you said, hey, Ash, what's up, little mama? I love Liv, but I really want to see Raquel hold gold. Raquel versus Liv needs to happen. And yeah, dude. So that's another good example of why Liv winning the title would be a positive because I don't think we would get Raquel versus Liv immediately, which is a good thing, obviously. I think with that, you want to have a turn from Raquel that makes sense. And I don't know, because the Judgment Day, man, they're just getting so depleted. I don't know if you really want to remove her now, but maybe you do. So we'll see. But I'm interested to see, too, if they add any members to the Judgment Day. Muhammad, what up, dude? Thanks for popping in. Nah, dude, to be honest with you, I forgot it was Wednesday and Dynamite was on. My schedule is all out of whack this week, but I'll be watching that later, maybe. What up, William? What up, what up? Thank you guys for popping in. I appreciate you all. Yeah, oh, Dogtown, you said Oba goes over, I'm willing to bet 1,000. Yeah, dude, I'd probably do the same. And yeah, Maddie, it would have been sick to see Flair. I mean, again, personal shit to decide. Flair would have made the most sense out of everyone. And it's so fucking irritating and a shame when you think of, oh, with Randy saying wrestling has more than one royal family and all that stuff. So going back to this really quick, because you did bring up a good point there, Maddie, or you sparked a memory that I had. I heard on Solid Monster Sounds Off, shout out to him, he's a great channel. One of his listeners had a thought where the whole Pat McAfee thing can be tied into The Rock. Now, hear this out. And it actually isn't that bad of an idea. Like, it would actually, I'm not hot on The Rock either, but it would be better than this, right? And it would help make it make sense and be a little bit easier. But the dude had said McAfee is the one that Randy was talking to on the phone, but McAfee was the middleman. And not that Randy can't speak to The Rock directly, but with the tie-in that McAfee has and the people and the connections that McAfee has, he had been speaking with The Rock, or The Rock reached out to him, or whatever. And The Rock wanted Randy to beat Cody. Cody never gave The Rock his soul, so The Rock's still bitter about that, which is just laughable. The whole soul thing, just fucking ridiculous. But The Rock is still pissed about that. So it can kind of all tie in together. Randy saying there's more than one royal family addresses Randy's side, but also The Rock's side. Because, I mean, Jesus, everyone in literally The Rock's cousin is in the WWE, so that could answer a lot. And I was like, man, that's not, I mean, I don't love it, but it's a lot better than where we're at. But that would obviously need The Rock to be available. So there's that. Moving on, though, we have Penta defending the IC Championship against Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio, who is now clear and good to go. I either see this is going to be a car crash match, especially with Javon and Dragon Lee in there, just fucking insane. And Mysterio, right? But Rey's, I don't expect him to go out there and do anything massively crazy, and I hope he doesn't. Stay safe, man. But I either think Penta is going to retain, or we get a surprise victory and Javon pulls up the upset. I'm not necessarily advocating for that because I think he's still plenty young, has plenty of time, and I still think it would have been cool for him to be in NXT a little bit longer and win the NXT championship and kind of solidify himself in that division, and add a little bit more, I don't know, credibility, but more just, I guess credit, just whatever, under his belt for title defenses and being the main guy in the heavyweight division. So, not that they even have lightweight divisions now, but you guys know what I mean. But yeah, so I don't see the need. I actually see the opposite of putting the title on Evans right now. But he's such a fun character. He brings so much energy. It would be a huge moment. I could see them wanting to pull the trigger. And again, it doesn't have to be some long reign or anything like that. But I could see an upset victory. So I think officially I'm going to go Penta again because I'm, playing it safe with WWE. But I think it'd be cool if they pulled a fast one on everyone and put it on Javon. So we'll see. Next we have, and this is just sad, Cargill defending against Ripley. Jade Cargill, our defending WWE Women's Champion on SmackDown, facing off against Miguel Rhea Ripley. This has just been trash. This build, yeah, it's just sad. So I'm not going to waste much time on it. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of worried that Cargill retains. I don't even know. Like, of course, I want Rhea to win, but I don't know. To me, it's really a matter of, are they over the whole Jade, I don't want to say experiment, but the whole Jade experiment with being the champion at this point wise, not Jade like being employed, you know? But if you take the title off of her, she's kind of one of those, like, I don't really know what she does because the people that she was feuding with are both out or had any type of history with, Bianca and Naomi. They're both out. So I don't really know what you do there. Now, unless you have, and again, I feel like I've been saying this for months too, but if Bianca is ready, which I still don't think we've received any inclination that she is, and you want to have a fast one pulled, you have her come back to have her screw Rhea over, right? Because Rhea is actually the one who hurt Bianca. Yeah, Bianca and Jade had their whole back and forth with the whole Naomi thing and all that shit, but if I'm Bianca, at this point, I've forgotten about that whole bullshit, and I'm more pissed that you cost me a year plus of my career. How many paydays has she missed out on? You know what I mean? I mean, of course she's getting her salary, but you get bonuses and shit for being at certain pay-per-views, PLEs and certain events and, all this extra shit. So I'm just saying, if I'm Bianca, I'd be more pissed off at Rhea. So I could see Jade retaining if they do some crazy shit like that with Bianca. But again, I'm not holding any breath on that either. But to be honest with you, man, I could see them putting the title on Rhea. Yes, it would move her to SmackDown, but I think she would probably like being on SmackDown. She'd be closer with Damian too. So, there's pros and cons. And I don't think there's really anything holding her to Monday Night Raw. Obviously, her husband isn't in WWE, so there's no personal relationship like that to be mindful of. So we'll see. But yeah, so officially I'm going Rhea unless Bianca makes a surprise appearance and fucks over Rhea, which I think would be cool because then I'm ready to have Bianca back, man. I didn't realize how much I would miss her being out. But yeah. Moving on to Sami Zayn and Trick Williams though. This one again, not gonna take too much time on it. This one though, it's kind of. I feel like I feel like if they're gonna put the title on Trick, it's gonna be a double turn, right? I feel like Sammy's gonna maybe not even snap during the match, but maybe him losing to Trick is what pushes him over the edge, and maybe Trick goes to like shake his hand or some shit after the match, and Sammy, does the whole, grabs his hand, but then I hope it's not a fucking low blow, but just beats Trick's ass, and then they go from there. Because I'm almost at the point where it's like, why else would you take the title off of Carmelo, do all this shit, like put it on Sammy, have Sammy be going out there for the past couple weeks, especially last week when he was literally asking the fans like, why are you mad at me? Like, why do you hate me? Like, like I've done all this good shit. So I could see that being just building and building and building to the point where Sammy snaps, and that icing on the cake is Trick beating Sammy. And that's what I was saying too. So like I don't know why you would do all that and to put Trick in this match and to be a singles match for him not to win the title. Again, kind of like with I forget who I said earlier. You don't I think it was Japan, but this one's a little bit different. I would probably want to hold off a bit more on putting a title on Trick, but man, like I feel like he is in the position where you could put a title on him and kind of let him do his thing. So I feel like he's a bit more ready than Javon, at least in that sense. So I'm going to go with Trick winning the title here. I think they are going to not have I guess it would be an upset victory, but have one of those big shocking moments. And then I'm going to say Sammy turns. So if not, I'd be surprised that Sammy doesn't turn if Trick wins. So we'll see. But next we have, which I think is going to be a fun match, the Demon Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. It's just going to be a fun match. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like someone had said, I forget who it was, but someone was like, "Oh, this match was just thrown together and there's not much build to it." And I'm like, where the fuck have you been for the past like 2 years? Like, are you new here? So I guess maybe they were referring to like the demon portion of Finn, but whatever. That's dumb. But I think this is just gonna be a fun match, and I'm almost because Dominic, he's fine. Like he doesn't need to win, but I almost feel like because I don't know, man. That WrestleMania loss to Ray just really just sticks out to me, and just really it's just a thorn in my side. So whenever I think of him in like big matches, I think of that match. He did beat Cena, right? But they went 50-50, so whatever. But yeah, man, I just think that Finn Balor, especially the Demon version, like Finn needs this win, even though it's over Dominic, which but I mean that goes to show you what good of a story this has been, right? And what good they've done with Dominic. But Finn needs this a bit more, so I'm going with Finn here. Going with Finn. And last but not least, we've made it to my guy, CM Punk, the heavyweight champion, defending against Roman Reigns. Again, I've spoken about this a lot. Another interesting direction they went on Raw. I was not expecting Punk to go out there and apologize for what he said about Sika, Roman's father, and about burying Roman beside Sika. Because last week he was so pissed off, right? And last week was just so fucking prime. But then this week he was just so maybe more focused, right? I guess. And it makes sense he's closer to Mania now. And I guess, like last week he's more high-headed and he knows Roman isn't there, so he can just he doesn't need to focus as much, but this week Roman's obviously there. Roman had that video package in the beginning, pretty much calling Punk a lie. Not even pretty much, but calling Punk a lie. And that focused Punk, and that made him come out there and think about his response and address it. So, again, looking back on this, they could have gone so many other directions and dug into like their character's actual history. And they have, at least they have touched on that more than Randy and Rhodes. But I still feel like something was missing out of this one. But I'm still digging this one. This is the match I'm looking forward to the most because I'm really intrigued to see if they keep the title on Punk or if they put it on Roman. Especially with Roman not being around, unless he's going to be around for the next 6 months more so than he has been. Because I don't see him having a long reign going forward. But if he does have, or I'm sorry, if he does win, I hope he's going to be around for a while, actively, in defending the title. So that's why I'm just like, man, I think they need to keep the title on Punk. It would say a lot for the Punk character, and it would also say like behind the scenes wise, like how they view him, but on screen too. Like if Punk can beat Reigns, the top guy, Punk's the guy. You know what I mean? And it pretty much diminishes everything that Roman has said about Punk not being a good champion. You know, like not doing business. You know, and like business falling and all that shit. So, but I can't see them taking the title off of Punk right now and putting it on Reigns. Can you imagine having, I mean, potentially Randy Orton and Roman Reigns as your champion, but Cody Rhodes is what I was going to say originally. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns as your respective champions on each brand. Like, just thinking of the history and everything, it'd just be wild if they were both individual champions now, but I digress. Officially, though, like I said, you got to keep it on Punk, man. I don't even know what you do with Punk going forward. I'm not really worried about that. Roman, of course, is just going to disappear. I just think that you can't put Punk in this situation and have him lose, man. Especially clean. That would just be terrible. But this match is probably, besides like Oba and Lesnar, the one I'm most intrigued to see how it actually plays out, like match wise, not even just finish wise, but what the actual match looks like. So I'm going with him retaining. So that is WrestleMania night 1 and night 2. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to go through your comments real quick, but yeah, then we'll wrap it up here. And like I said, I appreciate everyone for popping in randomly. If you watch our replay, all that good shit, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I will do a recap show of all the shows on Wednesday of next week because I will be traveling this weekend and I'll need time to watch it. I won't be flying back home until Tuesday afternoon. Like I won't be home until like 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I'll need to catch up on all that shit. So I'm going to try to watch some stuff in the airport and on the flight. So there's that. But yeah, so I say all that just to give a little scheduling update. Hey, look at us, Maddie. Yep, right there with you, man. Okay. Dog Tiny said Mello shows up mid-match, distracts ref, Sammy yeets a chair at Trick and retains. Easy as pie, baby. Yeah, I mean, you could do that too. I almost wonder, though, if they would want to pair Trick and Mello back up, but kind of flip it, whereas Trick was Mello's heavy, kind of have, Trick doesn't even need a hype man, though. I don't know, like, it's just so crazy, because, like, Trick is just so different than how he started, man. It's just wild. What up, Fernando? What up, man? Yeah, was it a good episode? I'm about to put that on in a little bit. I appreciate you popping in, though, man. And yeah, dude. Matt, you said whoever wins, Oba is coming for them. Dude, can you imagine Punk and Oba, though? I'm terrified for Punk because I feel like Oba would just break every bone in his body. Thank you, Maddie. I hope you enjoy your day, my friend. I will, sir. I will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mumsy. Fernando. Yo, you came in hot, my friend. You said Cole Cabana gets involved and helps Punk win. Can you fucking imagine? That is so. That would be hilarious. Dogtown, you said, I'm expecting the Usos to get involved. My question is, who will have Punk's back? And that's the thing, man. LA Knight? Like, but because at least they did speak about that, when Punk first disrespected, the family and all that stuff. I don't know. I honestly don't think the Usos are going to get involved in this one. Maybe so, and probably so, but because it is a Roman match. But I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't know who has Punk's back. Yeah, like I don't know. It's a good question. And again, another reason why the match is going to be fun to see. Joe, I appreciate you, my friend. You said you're my favorite on YouTube. Well, then maybe I'm your only subscription, then. I'm sorry to hear that. Just playing. I appreciate that. It's a very nice compliment. I appreciate you, friend. Yeah, Colt will have his back. Ridiculous. RVD pins Roman. Can you imagine? That'd be insane. All right, guys. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Austin can help Punk. And Dogtown, you said perfect opportunity for Rock to show up and help Punk versus Roman. Yeah, but then Rock wouldn't be involved in the Randy thing, so. And that could set up Rock versus Roman for WrestleMania 43, which is rumored to what they want to be doing in Saudi. So, possibility. Maddie, this is actually a very good call out. You said Austin helps Punk. That could be a very good guess. The only thing is, what business would Austin have in it? Because he has no history with Roman. The only history he has with Punk is them teasing the match. Like, I remember, was it 2013 when they were advertising the video game and Austin and Punk had like that brief backstage segment, but and it was always like one of those dream matches. But that's the only thing. Besides it just, being Austin and him not needing to have a reason and just want to be the good guy, helping out Punk. But I don't know, man. Oh, you're funny, bro. Thoughts on NXT or NXT Evolve lately? Dude, I have not seen Evolve at all. In NXT, I'm so far behind on Evolve, but NXT, I didn't see. I definitely haven't seen this week's episode. I was trying to remember last week's. The last thing I know that I watched was Stand and Deliver, which is pretty good. It was actually a pretty good wrestled show. So I just fucking Sean and Sexy Red, dude. Just cringe. I can't get over it. I can't. But yeah, I will be wrapping up there, my friends. I appreciate you guys so much for joining me randomly at all times. You guys are the best. I will miss you all this weekend. Please enjoy WrestleMania for me. If you're on Twitter, I'm gonna try to stay off Twitter because I want to go into watching Mania as fresh as can be and without spoilers, but we'll see how that works out. So yeah, but I definitely want to know what you guys think. So obviously, join on next Wednesday when we do the show. Then I'll try to get an idea closer to then when the time will be. But as always, again, thank you guys so much. Y'all the best. I don't care what anyone says. And until next week, y'all stay safe and enjoy WrestleMania. Take care, guys.